I still remember the way his lips brushed my forehead that morning. Light, quick, like he was already somewhere else. "Big meeting today, babe. Don't wait up." Those were his exact words. 7 little letters that seemed so innocent at 7:45 a.m. I handed him his coffee, straightened his tie like I had 1,000 times before, and watched him walk out the door. He looked back once, smiled. The same smile he gave me on our wedding day, but what I didn't know that morning was that smile had already belonged to someone else. My name is Clara. I've been married to Mark for 8 years. We met in college. He was the quiet guy in the back of the library, pretending to read but actually watching me. We fell hard, fast, the kind of love people write songs about. He proposed under a cherry blossom tree in April. I cried so much my mascara ran down to my chin. For 8 years, I thought we were unbreakable. I thought I knew every line on his face, every pause in his voice, every tiny lie he told when he forgot to take out the trash. But I was wrong. So terribly wrong. The cracks started showing about 6 months ago. He began working late, then later, then weekends. His phone became a locked box, face down on every table, never leaving his pocket. When I asked about his day, his answers were short. Annoyed even, like I was a customer service agent asking for his receipt. "Just tired, Clara. Don't overthink it." Don't overthink it. 4 words that became his shield. I tried to ignore the knot in my stomach. I told myself every marriage has rough seasons. I read articles about rekindling romance. I bought new perfume, planned date nights. He showed up late to every single one, phone buzzing like an angry bee in his pocket. Then came the meeting excuse. Client dinner, strategy call, late presentation. The names changed, but the pattern didn't. He'd leave at 7 p.m. sharp, always wearing that one blue shirt I'd bought him for our anniversary, the one that brought out his eyes. I used to love seeing him in it. Now I wonder how many other women have unbuttoned it. That Tuesday started like any other. I was folding laundry in the living room when he came downstairs, smelling of mint and something else, something not our soap. He kissed my cheek, not my lips. He hadn't kissed my lips in weeks. Meeting with the new investors. "Don't wait up." I nodded, smiled, said good luck, but the second the front door clicked shut, I felt it. That cold, creeping feeling. Not anger yet, just certainty. The way you know it's going to rain even when the sky is blue. I stood by the window and watched him get into his car. He didn't drive toward downtown, toward the offices. He turned left, toward the highway, toward the hills where the fancy restaurants and boutique hotels live. My hands started shaking. I grabbed my keys, my phone, a jacket I didn't bother zipping. I didn't plan anything. I didn't rehearse a speech. I just followed, like a moth chasing fire, knowing it would burn. And that right there was the moment my whole life split into 2 parts, before I followed him and after. Shifts to a low, tense heartbeat rhythm. I stayed 3 car lengths behind, enough to see his brake lights, but not close enough for him to notice. My knuckles were white on the steering wheel. My mind was screaming, "Turn around, go home, you're being crazy." But my gut, that quiet, ancient part of a woman that knows when she's being lied to, my gut said, "Keep driving." He took the Maple Street exit. Then a right on Elm. Then he pulled into the parking lot of a restaurant called the Golden Pear, a place we talked about going to for our anniversary. He always said it was too expensive, too fancy. Maybe next year, he'd say. But tonight, apparently, it wasn't too expensive for his meeting. I parked across the street under a broken streetlight. From there, I could see the restaurant's front window, warm amber light, white tablecloths, candles flickering like little secrets. And then I saw him. Mark got out of the car. He adjusted his tie, checked his phone, and then he walked to the entrance where a woman was already waiting. She was beautiful. I'll give her that. Long dark hair, red dress, heels that probably cost more than my first car. She laughed when she saw him, tilted her head, touched his arm like it was the most natural thing in the world. And Mark? He didn't pull away. He put his hand on the small of her back and led her inside. I sat there, in my car, frozen. The world outside kept moving, cars passing, a dog barking somewhere, the distant wail of a siren. But inside my chest, everything stopped. Not tears yet, just a hollow, expanding silence like someone had scooped out my heart with a cold spoon. I waited. 10 minutes. 20. Then I got out of the car. I don't remember crossing the street. I don't remember opening the restaurant door, but I remember the hostess smiling at me and asking, "Table for one?" I said no. I'm meeting someone. I walked past the bar, past the couples holding hands, past the clinking glasses and soft jazz. And there they were. In the corner booth, the one with the velvet seat and the view of the garden. She was feeding him a bite of dessert. He was laughing. The same laugh he used to have with me on Sunday mornings. I stood there for 5 seconds, maybe 10, long enough to memorize everything. The way her lipstick left a mark on the fork, the way his wedding ring caught the candlelight, the way he called her baby when she asked for more wine. Then I walked to the table. He saw me first. His face went from happy to confused to horrified in less than a second. His fork dropped. "Clara?" he said, like I was the ghost, like I was the one who didn't belong there. The woman looked up. Her smile faded. She knew. Women always know. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I just looked at him, really looked at him, and said, "Is this the meeting?" He opened his mouth, closed it, opened it again. Nothing came out. The woman grabbed her purse and stood up. "I'm sorry," she whispered to me. Not to him. To me. Then she walked away, heels clicking against the hardwood like a countdown. Mark reached for my hand. "Clara, please, let me explain." I pulled back. "You've been explaining for 6 months, Mark. Late meetings, client dinners, strategy calls. This is the only honest moment you've given me." The restaurant got quiet. People were staring. A waiter froze mid-pour. I didn't care. I leaned down close to his ear and said something I had rehearsed 1,000 times in my head, but never believed I'd actually say, "You will never see me again after tonight, and everyone will know exactly who you are." Then I walked out. I didn't run. I walked, slow and steady like a woman leaving a burning building with nothing but herself. Outside, the air felt different, colder, but also cleaner. I got into my car, and that's when the tears came. Not pretty tears. Ugly, heaving, gasping sobs that shook my whole body. I cried for the girl who fell in love under a cherry blossom tree. I cried for the years I'd never get back. I cried for the trust he had ground into dust. But somewhere in the middle of all that crying, something else started to grow. Small, quiet, dangerous. It was the first flicker of my revenge. Shifts to a steady, determined piano melody. I didn't go home that night. I drove to my sister's house instead. She didn't ask questions. She just opened the door, took one look at my face, and pulled me inside. I slept on her couch, wrapped in a blanket that smelled like lavender and safety. The next morning, my phone exploded. 43 messages from Mark, 11 missed calls, texts ranging from "I'm so sorry" to "Where are you?" to "You're overreacting." Overreacting. That word again. I didn't reply. Not once. Instead, I did something I had never done before. I opened my laptop and I wrote the truth. Not a dramatic Facebook post, not a revenge video, just the facts. A simple, clear timeline. Every late meeting date I could remember. Every excuse, every lie. And then I attached one thing, a photo I had taken from the restaurant doorway. Blurry, but clear enough to see his face. Her face. the dessert on the fork. I sent it to his boss, his mother, his best friend, and every single person on our joint holiday card list. Then I called a lawyer. The fallout was swift. His boss called him into a meeting that afternoon, not for work, but to ask why the wife of a senior manager was sending dinner date photos to the HR department. His mother left him a voicemail that my sister later described as the most disappointed 3 minutes in human history. His best friend, the one who had been covering for him, he called me crying, apologizing, saying he didn't know it was that bad. I believed about half of that. But the real revenge wasn't the email. It wasn't the shame or the text or the way he had to move into a cheap studio apartment because I filed for divorce and the house was in my name only. Thank you, past me, for being smart. The real revenge was this. I stopped loving him. Not overnight, not easily. But one day, about 4 months later, I woke up and realized I hadn't thought about him at all the day before. Not once. He was just a memory, a scar that had healed into something smooth. I sold the house, moved to a small town 2 hours away where no one knew his name. I adopted a golden retriever named June. I learned to bake bread. I started writing again, not revenge letters, but stories. My stories. Mark tried to reach out twice. First to explain, second to ask for forgiveness. I read the first message, deleted the second. Forgiving him, I realized, wasn't about him. It was about me letting go of the weight I never asked to carry. So here's what I learned. Sitting on my new front porch with June sleeping at my feet, betrayal doesn't break you. It shows you. It shows you who you really are when everything you believed in falls apart. I thought I was just Mark's wife. But I was never just that. I was Clara, the woman who follows her gut, who walks into restaurants without a plan, who packs her life into boxes and starts over without looking back. And the best revenge? It's not making him suffer. It's making yourself happy. So happy that one day you realize you don't even remember the color of the dress she was wearing. You only remember the sound of your own footsteps walking out the door. That night, I followed my husband to a restaurant. But in the end, I found myself.